the government shutdown. That seems to be the big word on the street. We did have some comments this week from some of our viewers about that. One of the questions was, AJ, we've been looking at this market continuing to make new highs. How is the shutdown going to affect things? Because I believe we were supposed to get some employment numbers today, but we didn't because everybody took the day. Well, because the government's not working. What's your take on all that?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. A good friend of mine here in Fort Collins, the Fort Collins people don't know, has a very big component of the USDA, right? The folks that monitor cattle and stuff like that. So all the USDA folks are kind of furloughed right now. So I called her and I said, "Hey, I'm in town. Do you want to get lunch?" She's like, "Well, I'm not doing anything." So yeah, but as far as we're concerned as investors, it looks like so far investors have shrugged off the government shutdown. But yes, yesterday we did not get our weekly unemployment report. And today we did not get our monthly employment numbers. In other words, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is shut down. So we're flying blind as investors. That means the Federal Reserve is flying blind. The Federal Reserve had a bunch of folks, different Fed governors, speak earlier in the week, and they all mentioned inflation, SIP, but they also said a more dire focus is going to be the employment numbers, which gave investors kind of a more comfortable feeling. If I bring up the Fed possibilities for rate hikes. This is October. No, this is December. This is October. October is almost 96% chance that there's going to be a rate drop of a quarter point. And then December, last week they were wondering because, the PCE came in kind of hot and employment came in kind of, stabilized. But this week it's the opposite story. Employment seems to be what people are worried about. The Fed governors mentioned that earlier the week. We didn't get our numbers because the government shut down. So right now, as of today, investors are pretty comfortable saying that there's going to be two more rate drops.